When I was 13, me and my friends were starting to go to house parties, and they would ask me before one of our first parties together. They said, "Eden, are you gonna drink alcohol?" And this was a big choice in my life, a big decision in my life, because what this does is you have to decide whether you're going to fit in or whether I was going to stand out. And I knew that even at a young age that I wanted to be different, that I wanted to be unique from other people. And so I chose not to drink alcohol, and I've never drunk an alcohol at 23 years of age. I've never touched a drug. I've never done anything. And doing that gave me the ability to be myself and make my own decisions and not follow the crowd as much. So if you're in your 20s, a few things that you're wasting your time doing in your 20s, if you are doing them, is one, caring what people think, worried about what others' judgments are going to be about you. You know, what this person's going to think of you if you don't choose this, if you don't drink this alcohol, if you don't do this drug, what other people are going to say or laugh at you if you're the odd one out, a little bit different. Be different, stand out. In your 20s, in your teens, anything like that, you have to stand out. You got to be you, unique. One of the other things that I feel like people in their 20s or even in their teens are afraid of doing is doing the things that you feel fulfilled doing. Find your purpose, find your meaning, and do those things in your life, because you're the only one that's going to be paid back the positive effects afterwards. You know, like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what this person thinks or that person thinks. Like it's about what you want and what you want to do in your life. And you take the steps towards whatever goals you have, regardless of what anyone external is thinking or gonna say about it. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This person can comment on a video, this person can say this to your face and laugh at you, but at the end of the day, you're doing the things that you want to do. You're being the person you believe that you're meant to be, and that's all that matters. A couple of ways that you can go against the grain and kind of be your own person in your 20s is, or even in your teens, is making sure that whatever the normal is, whatever the normal kind of trend or the normal type of way of going about things, is that you go the opposite direction. Even just being, what do you call it? You could call it being stubborn, you could call it being you're just going against the grain. You're doing a completely different thing than what other people tend to do. Because what's normal in this world is mediocrity, normality. That's what's normal. Being average, being an average person. That's what's normal in this world. What's normal is that you go out and party and you drink and stuff like that on the weekends, and you go and live it up and have fun. What's normal is that you waste your time scrolling, consuming a lot of content. What's normal is that you stop learning when you leave high school or leave school. What's normal is that you stop trying and stop growing. What's normal is what majority of society are doing and trying to push towards you. The world and society wants you to be complacent, and they want you to stay stagnant. They don't want you to try. They don't want you to have energy or motivation to do anything. They don't want you to have discipline. They're going to try and put everything and anything in front of your face. The porn and the naked woman on, half-naked woman on Instagram and on TikTok or whatever. They're going to try and distract you every single way possible to try and get you off your purpose, off your goals, everything like that. They're going to try everything and anything they can to stop you from getting to where you believe and want to go. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to have shit mental health, society in the world. They want you to have bad social skills. They want you to have no confidence in yourself to think that you can even get to a point B in your life. Wherever that may be. It could just be the fact that you want to go to the gym consistently, or the fact that you want to finish a book, whatever that is. The world and everything is set up technically for you to fail. The way you can go against that is not do what the world tells you to do, really. Not even listen to your own brain, because the short-term gratifications that the world will put upon you in your 20s is crazy. The amount of times that these distractions are going to come for you and be in your, try and get in your way is insane, because it will just keep coming. It will keep happening. This person will come here and say this to you and try and make you mad so that you get angry and start a fight with them, and then you get in trouble with the law. This girl will come over and try and entice you to sleep with her, and she'll try and make you get her pregnant, and then you're gonna have to take care of, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that you have to be careful about, and you got to make sure that you're aware of it. The best thing to go about it is to make sure that you've got your own priorities straight. You have to set a priority list. And now an actionable step that I'll give advice for is that, like, I want you to write down some of the things, some of the characteristics that you want in your future self, some of the lifestyle things that you would want to gain for yourself. And I need you to write down a couple of things that you prioritize in your life, whether that's your business and money and your side hustle, whether that's your physique and your gym progress and your diet and everything like that. Whether it's that's one of the main priorities, whatever some of your priorities are, and list them from like 1 to 5, 1 being the most important to you and 5 being kind of least important, you know? And when you gain that understanding, and you kind of, sometimes it might be a little bit more difficult, and you might not be able to like answer that straight away. But if you can bring an understanding to yourself of what your priority list is, then that will give you a better direction of what moves to make going forward. What kind of things during your day are you going to set up habit-wise to be able to push these in a good progression, you know what I mean? So that's one of the actual steps that I'll probably suggest in your 20s, is to make sure you set up a priority list, and make sure you find out what you really want in your life, whether that's a good physique, whether that's bettering your social skills and making more friends, and or maybe even talking to girls and better your confidence with that, or better your hygiene and your smell, and getting some, you know, investing in those looks maxing kind of things. And that'd probably be the best advice that I could probably give to someone, that, you know, for you to avoid wasting your time in your 20s, because we all think that, you know, getting older is taking a long time, and that, you know, it's gonna take a while before you're 30 and stuff. But in reality, you're gonna blink and be 30, and that's what they all say. Like, time gets faster as you get older, and whether that's a psychological thing that your brain does because it's getting older and it's less able to obtain things in its life, so then you miss gaps in memory, which means that you're growing older faster, which, yeah, who knows. But for me personally, how I think about me getting older is that, like, I turned 23 on the 9th of May, and this year time's going slow for me. The reason why time's going slow is because I know where I want to be and where I want to go. So every time I get older, 23, 24, 25, I have this belief that I'm one step closer to the dream lifestyle that I want, to being the type of leader that I want to be for the young men, for you guys, you know what I mean? And, you know, like, as long as you're taking the steps day in, day out with your habits and your morning routines and your nightly routines and your priority list and setting your goals and everything like that, as long as you're doing that day in, day out, you're going to be fine with getting older, because you're going to know that you're doing the right things now. If someone isn't prioritizing themselves with certain goals, or they're not setting themselves up for success, of course they're going to be afraid of getting older. Of course, as soon as they hit 25, they're going to be like, oh my god, I'm wasting time, I'm running out of time. I ain't running out of time. Time's working perfectly for me. And so, the advice with this one is, as long as you are doing the right things in your day-to-day life, in your lifestyle, in your weeks, in your mornings, in your nights, as long as you know you're ticking the boxes and taking the steps regardless of knowing where you're going to go, you're not going to be afraid of getting older. And time isn't going to go fast, because you know I am doing the right things. So as long as you're doing the right things, that's all that really matters. And I hope this video helps you in any way possible, because, like, when I was younger, I didn't know where I wanted to go, but they all developed and came together as I grew and learnt and lost and failed, and it's all part of it.